Hey everybody, Mark with Ecom Warriors. I want to continue the conversation we had yesterday about Shopify winning products, and I want to also talk about a comment that I received yesterday on my video. So, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and read the comment. And the comment says, and mind you guys, just for a brief warning, this is in the context of winning products. I was kind of talking about some of the differences and things like that you can expect, and I recommend you check out yesterday's video if you haven't done already. And it says, so Anthony had a comment, and he says, so a true winning product is one that you can market, ? While a product that has a higher demand might not be a winning product because you can't market or advertise it. And I'm guessing that he kind of phrased this into a question, and I'm going to say yes and no to this answer. Before I do, let me just go ahead and turn on my lights here. And let me fix that, guys. There we go, so you can see me a little bit better. So I want to talk about this winning product idea, okay? Basically, when I say what you guys have to remember, what a winning product is in 2021 is a completely different ideology than what a winning product was in 2014. So you got to remember that Facebook ads were opened up in 2007, okay? So at this point, I didn't even have a credit card to my name. I didn't know about e-commerce. I was a kid, okay? And many of us were also. All the people watching this, maybe we didn't know about ads at the time, whatever the case may be. At that point, it was almost the gold rush of making money online, okay? At this time, obviously, there was less trust towards e-commerce and things like that, but there were people who were customers online. And if you notice, Facebook has this little section in the advertising where you're allowed to target previous customers. And this was used very, very frequently back in the years of 2009, 2010, even upwards 2014, because they were banking off of customers who previously purchased. Now, as the years went on, e-commerce was more and more trusted. Obviously, with the emergence of Amazon and Walmart doing their online platforms, sales started to go through the roof. Even eBay had an effect on that, and eBay had a huge role to play. However, there was something that was very, very interesting, okay? At the time, AliExpress was very well known. They had many, many competitors, but it was this niche circle of drop shippers. And at the time, it wasn't called drop shipping. It was just a method where you're essentially a middleman, right? You buy the product when the consumer buys from you, you buy it from the manufacturer, and you tell the manufacturer to ship it to the consumer. At the time, like I said, it wasn't called drop shipping. Everybody was doing it, but there was no name to it, right? When I say everybody, notice that these are people who are on the trend, on the market, kind of like what cryptocurrency was 5 years ago before kind of Bitcoin hit that huge surge, right? People were in on it in the beginning, kind of early to the curve. Now, keep in mind all of this matters, and this relates to the success of Shopify stores and the idea behind a winning product today. Now, if you go look at some authentic YouTube videos of entrepreneurs telling you that they found a winning product and they generated, let's say, $30,000 a day in sales, at the end of the month, they might generate, let's say 15 grand. 15 grand in profit, not, expenses. So they might have made $2 million or $1 million in revenue, but the costs are so high with advertising and the actual product that you only get a certain amount of money. That's why if you notice, a lot of these quote-unquote drop shippers who are doing such high numbers, live in the same apartments, drive the same cars. They're not living super lavish lifestyles like Floyd Mayweather. Let's be honest, if you're making $2-3 million a month, even $1 million a month, you're going to be balling out of your mind. You're going to be doing some crazy stuff. You could buy a new house, depending on the house, but literally every week, every other day. You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep in mind the profit margins. Now, back in the day, okay, back in 2009, 2012, 2013, when you drop shipped products, there was a much higher conversion rate because there was less competition. And that, in turn, created higher amounts of revenue and higher amounts of profit for entrepreneurs. This is where the idea started to beget, right, and come into the space of, if you get into dropshipping, you're going to become very, very successful. Hence why, if you look at the competitors today of other YouTube channels talking about this kind of stuff, they still pitch the same dream. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But what happens is when people see videos over and over and over about this winning product idea, okay, At the end of the day, it's a waste of time and a waste of an argument. I've had many people ask me, well, what's a winning product? And I've made some winning product videos before. But the truth is, all a winning product now in 2021, all it means is that the product typically has more demand than other products. That's it. And by the way, don't attach this idea to Facebook ads. Don't attach this idea to AliExpress. It just simply has more demand and it has more purchases in a shorter amount of time. That could happen for any reason. It could be for a trend. It could be for an individual or a marketer who maybe selected that product and striked gold, had a perfect product market fit. There could be different reasons why this actually occurs. You have to understand that. That is critically important, okay? So a winning product, like I said, is just a boost in demand. If we looked at what a winning product was in 2009, in 2011, it was a product that you can promote that will allow you to strike gold with Facebook no matter how bad your website was. As long as it was, mediocre, average, nothing special, you would strike gold. Okay? Now that's different than today. It's a completely different ballgame. Since there is so much competition, it doesn't matter what winning product you have. If you don't have a winning marketing tactic, then your business is not going to succeed. And this is why I tell people the idea of a winning product is false advertisement. It's stupid. It's not a real thing. Because let's say this product right here, this is a ring light. Let's say there's low demand for the market. When I say the market, I mean the world, right? Let's say where back in 2018, ring lights used to sell 1 million units a day. Let's just say all of a sudden they sell 15,000 units a day. That doesn't mean that I can't succeed in that industry. Just because the desire for the product went down doesn't mean people are not buying it anymore. People are still buying it. Therefore, if I find a right product market fit, which basically means that I'm able to take the product, market it successfully to an audience, then that means that I'm going to quote unquote succeed, and the idea, which is a false idea, that this is a winning product, and it's not. There is no such thing as a winning product. Okay? Now, if you have a product that you've marketed and you've succeeded with, that is a winning product for you, not for everybody else. Just because you have a product that you can market that is quote unquote winning, whether the demand in the marketplace is high or not, doesn't mean it's a winning product. Does that make sense? Now, to further that explanation, if we go on AliExpress and we look at the trending products, the products that have sold the most today, and we click on one of those products and we create an ad, guess what? We may succeed, we may not. And truthfully, and to be honest, through experience, the chance is that there's a low chance for success just for the average human being, because you have to market the product a certain way, right? You have to have certain kinds of content. You have to target certain kinds of cognitive biases, which I spoke about cognitive biases. I made a whole course. I'll leave the link in the description. But let's say one of those products is one of those shovels, right? You guys know what I'm talking about on AliExpress. That metal bar that you could switch the little handle on top, or the little tool. You can make it into a shovel, into a knife, into a saw. Let's just say that product is a winning product for today. Let's say I create an ad and everything goes well. Well, what happens tomorrow when the desire is gone, right? And when I say tomorrow, guys, realize that I'm being a little bit facetious, but the reality is that product is eventually going to die in demand, just as hoverboards did, just as silly bands did, just as all these different products that were what were referred to as fads. Not a trend, but a fad. A trend is something that's more long-term. A fad is something that's very, very, very short-term, such as those hoverboards. There are many people that I personally knew. I knew somebody, he actually went to my church, who knew another person who bought a whole warehouse worth of hoverboards. And obviously he worked at a great company, had stock options and all that, and he took all that cash and bought hoverboards with it that he couldn't sell even till this day. Now, why do you think that is? It's not because the product was a winning product. I mean, people still have a demand for this product till today, even though it's a much smaller demand. It's because the guy couldn't market the product. He doesn't know how to sell the product. He doesn't know what's going to make the product, what's going to make the customer want to purchase. He doesn't know how to advertise. He doesn't know how to target the cognitive biases to make a consumer say, hey, this is a good deal. I want this. He doesn't know how to get the right content for the product to promote it. My point here with all this is that a winning product is not a truly winning product. All it means is that there is high demand. Now, to answer your question, The answer is yes. When Anthony asks, so a true winning product is one that you can market? The answer is yes. That's a true winning product, because what is the definition of a winning product? A winning product is a product that can just make you money. Period. Now, when you look at it from a outro kind of, and you have I guess you could say, an you have two kind of perspectives: the intro, the inverse, and then you have the outward. The inside kind of definition, I would say, is a product that can make you money. The outward type of product of what a winning product is just a product that has high demand. That's it. Now let's answer the second question. He said, while a product has that higher demand, might not be one of a winning product because you can't market or advertise it. That's not actually the case. So a product that has higher demand, it just depends on the marketer and how comfortable they are marketing that specific product. Now, the truth is, if you have success marketing one product and succeeding, you'll have a better likelihood and a better chance of succeeding at another product and another product and another product. The truth is, you don't really care about the marketing, but you care about the tactics, and that's what matters, and that's what makes a successful marketer, is you understand the tactics and not the actual product. The product is irrelevant. If you have a good marketer and a good salesperson, they can sell you anything, right? I'll give you an example. Look at Grant Cardone. He sells $2 ebooks, but he also sells courses for $60,000 to a company per individual. So this is an individual who can sell any product. Any product that you know of, he can sell. And in fact, he's so good that he helps other companies sell their products through his training. Now, whether you think he's a scam or you don't like him or whatever, you can't negate the one fact that he's very good at selling products. And this is what I mean when I say there's no such thing as a winning product, okay? Now, like I said, now why am I actually, and by the way, I want to bring this up. Why am I actually even discussing the concept of a winning product? Like, why does it matter? Well, it matters because there's a lot of consumers in the Shopify marketplace. There's a lot of people who are creating stores today, watching a 2-minute video or a 20-minute video or even a 2-hour video, seeing a specific product that they can potentially sell, where the individual in the video takes the product, puts it on a website, runs an ad, and makes $10,000 a day. This is false advertisement, to the max. Because what happens is you don't see the many, many years of hard work before that. You don't know what kind of skill this individual has in terms of copywriting, in terms of ad targeting, in terms of what he's presenting on the actual website. And just because he did it does not necessarily mean, when I say he, I mean the person in the video, could be a he or she, does not necessarily mean that you will do it too. And this is why I tell people, forget this idea of the winning product. This is a very unintelligent idea. What you need to do is you need to get a product that works for you, that you feel comfortable promoting. Now, typically, I tend to recommend a product that you're passionate about, because typically when somebody's passionate about a certain product, they know more about it. So, for example, and this is just to share with you the inverse of that idea story, I had a client who was very, very concerned with selling a certain kind of product, and it was female individuals. This individual was a male. He was about, let's say, 45 to 50 years old, right? And he wanted to sell products for women, and the ideal consumer for the product that he wanted to sell was about, a 25 to 30-year-old girl, maybe maximum 30, right? Or woman, right? The guy didn't know how to sell anything, ended up closing the store and didn't succeed. Why? Because he had no knowledge about what the end consumer really needed. Just because he thought that there was a high demand for the product didn't actually make him successful. And yeah, there was a high demand for the product, but that individual didn't know how to sell the product. And so what did he end up doing? He ended up closing down the store and saying goodbye to his business. So what I recommend is that you find a product that you're passionate about. If you're not passionate about anything, go be passionate about something, or be knowledgeable at least at something. There has to be something that you know about or you have some kind of passion. And I can't find that answer for you. You need to go out there and find it for yourself. And I'm not talking to the person who asked the question. I'm talking just to the world in this video. Right? There are a lot of times where I get comments from people saying, well, how do I know what product I'm not passionate about anything, right? You have to. You got to go out there. I mean, business is one of those things that you got to just do for yourself. Nobody's going to give you the answers. That's number one. The next thing is you have to find a product that you're knowledgeable about, not just passionate about. You have to know the actual information behind it. You have to know what makes a consumer tick, what makes them have the desire, what are the problems associated with the product, what are some questions the consumer is going to have. You're not going to be able to expose this kind of information on the website without actually knowing this stuff. This is why when I do my design videos, I tell people we have to logically think. We have to ask ourselves, what are going to be the needs of the consumer? Is this the type of product where a consumer is going to need it right away and he needs free shipping, fast shipping? Or is this the type of product that they can wait on? Or is this the type of product that, is very, it leans towards impulsivity factor, scarcity, right? These are different cognitive biases. Like I said, we talk about them in the course, right? And I've spoken about the course. I'll leave the link down below. But my point here is that you have to think logically about what goes into selling the product. You can't just put up a product, put up a website, put up an ad, and hope to God that it's going to work. That's what everybody does. And guess what? Not everybody's successful. In fact, 95 to 98% of the individuals starting a Shopify store do not succeed, meaning they do not generate a profit. So you have to think about, why is this happening, okay? So next time when you see winning product videos, okay, understand that just because that product is considered a winning product, all it means is that there is higher demand. And there could be lots of influences in the market around that product. It could be an individual maybe selling a ton of it, and that's why there's higher amount of sales. It could be just maybe a trend or a fad, or maybe a celebrity shouted the product out and somebody wants to mimic the marketplace and have a jump on that market, on that product for that niche. And that might work for you, and it might not. Now, something that I also want to talk about with this winning product idea is that individuals who are actually successful with this winning product idea, what they typically do is they find this winning product, they create a website very, very quickly, within a day, they create ads within a day, and they get the product to succeed within a day. That same day that they find out what the product is, they start marketing, they start promoting. But it's only a matter of time until that product goes to crap and their demand is done, the raving demand is done. That marketplace, that market that they targeted on Facebook is limited now. They can't reach anymore, even with the retargeting ads. And what happens is they have to find a new winning product. And this is the idea of why a winning product in general, even if there is a winning product, is not a good idea, because you're not building a brand. What building a brand does is it gives you leverage to get more customers in the future. I'll give you a good example. Let's take the supplement company Redcon One. If they kept switching their brand every single week, nobody would have any, Redcon wouldn't have any reoccurring customers. One of the most successful things behind that company, and the reason why they're arguably the most successful supplement company to date, is because of their reoccurring customers. A consumer goes, buys a product from Redcon One, but for sure, it's a matter of time, whether it be months or years down the line, consumer will purchase from them again, right? And this is why I tell you guys, learn about the cognitive biases. If you look at their marketing plan, what do they do to get consumers back? Discounts, sales, right? That's incentivization bias, okay? So you have to be aware of these things. And, if you are in this winning product idea and you keep switching from brand to brand to brand, product to product to product to product, it does not create a lasting impression for your customers. And it's the worst way to go, in my opinion, because it never gives you that rest. You're always working. For me, the whole reason why I got into business, not just to get wealthy or get rich, but to give myself the lifestyle of relaxation, to be able to work up front and then relax later down the road. And that's what a brand does for you, because a brand is tied to emotion. When you sell a single product that has no brand, that has just this idea, right? And then you're switching the product every month, every 2 months, every 4 months, whatever the case may be, people don't know that brand for what it is. People are not going to remember what that brand is. It was just an impulsivity factor. It was a factor of, they saw an ad on Facebook, they clicked, they bought, they forgot even what the company was. And 2 months later, when finally AliExpress decides to ship out the product and get it delivered, they finally see it at their door. They're not happy with the product. They may form a dispute, they might not, and they might forget about the product and your company entirely. So this is why the idea of the winning product is a bad idea. It's not a good idea. It's a waste of time. And more importantly, it doesn't aid you in your business. You want to be able to focus on building a company, a brand, something that is sustainable, something that customers are going to talk about, word of mouth, okay? All these things are very, very important in the winning product conversation. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. See ya. Peace and bye.